Okay, guess what we got? We got a piston. That piston is going in our 153 build. Our McCullough. Wiseco. Okay. Nothing's ever easy. We know that. When you have to do your conversions and get your brain scrambled, you got to figure things out. Well, the thing is, the original piston worked good for a long time. But if you can see them little breaks right in there, no, that's not where the pins are. They're on the other side. It was starting to come apart. If I'd have tried to use that piston, it'd have been a problem right away once I start trying to turn it up. Now, I'm going to show you something right here that's just going to amaze you. Now, when you save weight off of that rod, meaning piston weight, a few grams let you turn up. Let's say 5 grams lets you turn up 500 RPMs. I don't even know what it would be. I'm not even going to bother to figure it out because it doesn't matter. I got what I got. I can only do what I got to work with. It makes pounds and pounds and pounds of difference when that piston is traveling up and down at a given RPM. So, to take a slow turning Mac and try to push it into modern saw world, this is what I'm attempting. Well, we are not successful until we did it. Okay, so let's get right into this. Let's weigh these pistons and see what the difference is, and then we're going to get on what our video is actually about. We're zeroed. It's 122.8. That's heavy. Back at zeroed. $78.3. Now, I got you all wobbled around sideways there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so when you go from 78.3 to 122.8 grams, do your math. How much I saved a buttload. But we're not done saving yet. This piston is shorter than this one. You can see approximately how much I'm going to take off of that. How many more grams is that? We're going to find out when I do it. It's going to be a bunch more. Super light. Super heavy. Okay, we got some downsides. This is an 11 millimeter wrist pin. The wrist pin for the Mac is a little bigger. And I'm going to give you some food for thought here. It actually has bearings on the inside, just like the Macs. Okay. It has thrust washers that go in here, press fit on the rod. Let me get my rod out. I wasn't gonna do this. I'm gonna show you. It's not a lot difference on the bearing or on the wrist pin, but it's enough. There's a rod. It's pressed in the rod. The wrist pin is. Yeah, this wrist pin it'll work. But it doesn't fit. So I'm going to take this piston and this to the machine shop, and I'm going to have them precision ream using press fit on the rod. I'm going to have them ream where it's a slip fit. Okay, we already have holes for the holes for the oil. Boy, I almost couldn't say that. so that as the piston goes downwards, it lubricates. Now you're thinking, well, gee, that's not going to run without them bearings. Well, I'm going to tell you a little trick. Automotive engines don't have bearings in the pistons and the AeroPress pin, which can be, I know we can make floating pins, we can do all that, and we do sometimes. But you're talking a lot of weight and a lot of pressure. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm using a forged piston. It's much harder than the original Mac piston. I know that, and it's stronger. This isn't a saw that's got to run 20 years or 10 years or even 5 years. This is a saw that's just got to be a ball of fire and a lot of fun. I'm not going to have a piston made just for a one-off. But, so you see the point there. Now, by using a good quality synthetic mix oil, press fit on the rod, and slip fit on the piston, I can use the original Mac wrist pin. But I have to locate it with spacers. It's got to be done with spacers. That's done all the time. It's no big deal. So there's where we're at with that. So I'm going to put this back in this. I got my parts I want to take to the machine shop. Unbelievable weight. Let's see what the rod weighs. I didn't even check that. The rod weighs 48 grams. So, that's not a lot. Kilo bar. I'm going to tell you that rod is very good quality. I know it's little, but that is really hard. I mean, that's crazy hard. Okay, now that I got that out of my system, you know where we're headed there with the Mac. We have parts coming first of the week, so I'm using today, which is Saturday, to get something done on this Playtoy 372 Husqvarna. Okay, the one thing I want to show you is you got a little post right there. I thought they came with the rubber that goes on that. I just cut a piece of I don't know, I think it's 5/16 hose, and don't cut it where it sticks out too far or you won't get your handle on. You can see right there. Well, you can't see. Let me put it on there and then you can see. Okay, there. Okay, now there's reason for that. Right here in the tank, in this hole, that's the stopper. Okay, you have a smaller hole on this side that gets a special bolt. What it is, it lets the mounts move, but if they start hyperextending, it stops it. That's what it does. Now, these tanks can be a little bit of a booger. I've ensured that my fuel line is indeed all the way in the hole where it belongs. There's a slot for the cable, and then you push it back. Make sure you do that. Yeah, I put my tank on first. They're a little bit of a trick. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're a little trick to get on. Yeah, and I don't take them off very often, so I always have to stop and say, well, which way did that go? There. I got it slid in. This side screw right here. Gotta get that fuel line up out of there. I'll hate myself in the morning for that one. Now remember, we changed the crank. I'm not using the crank that came with the kit. I'm using NWP. I got that from Wolf Creek Saw Shop. Okay. We're just going to put her out this. You know what's nice? I don't care if it's made in China. The parts fit. I'm sorry, but they fit. You can make this easier on yourself, but I've done things the hard way all my life, so why change things now, right? There we go. Get her started. You got the one screw in the side. These are about ½ inch long. There's some shorter ones. They don't go in here. There's some real short ones. That's for your coil. And now all I gotta do is get this front mount. Just spring mounts. Little hole right there. Okay. Got that. Got that. Okay. You get this little bag here. It's got your key and your nut for your flywheel and lock washer and one thing the other in it. And the larger, looks like a wood screw, but it's not, for your mount. Okay. This bolt right here with a taper, see that? This is taper. This is smaller than a thread. That goes right there in this hole. Just drop her in. Remember I showed you that it had a place for it, you know, the rubber stop on one side, just the bolt on this side. Okay, we're in good shape there. Okay, I wasn't actually gonna put my flywheel in yet, but I think I'd better. I really do. So I've got little parts here. Now this is what happens. It's like this little roll pin. I believe that's one in for your chain brake. We're gonna find out here in a little while. I might as well show you something. Now when you get your handle on, this thing tightens right up. Okay? And then the last mount that goes on your cylinder. Yesterday we tightened up the bolts for our case halves. It's kind of nice. Give them just another little crank. Just check them. Not too tight, just tighten up. I know it doesn't look like I'm cranking on it very hard, but if you ever shake my hand, you'll understand that that's tight. I just love how that crank feels in that. You get your little tabs that stick up right here where you're trying to take a razor blade, just cut them off with a razor blade, and that's all you do there. But we might as well get our flywheel out, huh? I'm not going to put it on super tight right this second. Well, maybe I will. We'll see. From here, because that's outside the saw, anything that fails, we can fix that. Okay, so what I gotta do, get my crazy little key. I know I'm with you. The original ones don't have keys. The real deal don't. The keys build into the flywheel. But I've got these flywheels all over the place. We're trying to see where the weak spots are in some of these parts. Let's just see what kind of things we run into. All right, that's what it's all about for me right now. I'm setting that straight up. You guys know how to put a key in, I'm sure. Just get her going. And that's that. And we're just gonna slip our little flywheel in there. Dry. I don't oil. No oil. You always have doubt. Did I or didn't I? I did. Little lock washer. This is a real good time to tighten this up, honestly. This is where you can say I'll do that later. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that later. My 12 millimeters on the other bench, and I'm not gonna stop and get it. So what'll happen is I have anal retention on these things. It'll bug me the rest of the whole time I'm making this darn video. Okay. So the next thing I actually need to do is I'm going to put my package tray. We've got that started. Okay. We know we're not tight there. There is a little rubber. There was supposed to be a little box of rubber parts in this. I haven't seen them. One of them is the rubber that goes up through with the cable. And I always got to look at these twice. And yeah. It basically goes in there. You'll figure out where your fuel goes real fast. I think that's where that one goes. Okay, you just get. I'm gonna look for that rubber just a minute. I can't handle it if I don't. Now, when they pack these, they got a method to their madness that I don't understand. Because you think, well, with this item, I'll put the bolts with that. And with this item, I'll put them bolts with that. No, nothing like that. It's like, they'll figure it out. So, those of you that really love puzzles are going to really have a ball with this. The chain brake parts. Diverter. Well, let's put that parts all together here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we get our coil out. Now the whole time I've got a tiny little pin here that I'm going to lose if I'm not careful. I don't want to do that. So, just have to be careful. need longer bolts. I think these here are it. Maybe. Well, let's find out. Worst you can is be wrong, huh? It's a good idea. Make sure you got enough working threads, you know. See, it really is. What are you doing for your weekend, guys? See what I'm doing? Try to spend a little extra time out here. I really honestly would love to get the rest of these saws done that are here so I can go on to other things. Now, I generally use like a paper towel roll or something like that to gap. This will work. Gap my ignition. I'll show you how worried I get about that real fast. Make sure your magnet's turned around. Slide your cardboard in. Turn it till the magnet grabs a hold of it. Right there. Magnet's got a hold of it. Press it right in there, tighten it up. That's all you gotta do. That's your gap. Okay, then you just roll it out. There. I've got a nice gap, just the right gap. No, I didn't measure it. I don't know what it is. I know I got a gap. I like to run them a little close, but not too close. If you really want to know, look it up. They'll tell you the specs. They're not ashamed of it. Let's see. Need to get this little bugger in. Built saws before. These things really do go together fast. You need to know that. If you haven't, just enjoy it, man. It's a journey. It really is. This little air diverter, what it does, it picks air up from the flywheel and it blows it up into the cavity where the carburetor and air cleaner is. That's their turbo. It does help keep that filter clean. I'm not sure whether I need to put that in right now or not, because I gotta find them rubbers. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and put it in, then it's done. Okay, so I know we can do that. I should have actually, guys, put that in before I put that flywheel on. It'd have made it a little easier. But you can go between the fins to get your bolt in. You really can. And that's one of these little short puppies, I think. Stay right here. We're gonna find out. I think it's a short one. One of them real shorter ones. Now, I gotta get my light where I can see. There's a little pin on the end of this air diverter. It picks up off the flywheel. There's a hole in the case for it to go in. Don't get this stupid tight. It just breaks. Okay, so we got that done. We got our coil in. We have a ground wire, one thing or the other put in. But what I'm going to do is put the diverter on, because we actually we got to put a bunch of other parts here. These three lines, they go up. Get your coil out of your way. This hole goes on a pin. Okay, I'm gonna have to put that. Ground wire in one thing the other end before I do this, because I have to put my spark plug wire right up through here, and it goes right up under this bar here on this case. Okay, so it thought I was gonna try to get lucky there, and I'm not. I really would like to have them rubber mounts. Let me look for them real quick, guys. Well, I didn't find my ground wire that goes from my switch to my coil, but I'll show you what I did. I've got my switch in, got my little wire that grounds to the case right here. Just goes through that little hole. I always put that on the bottom. I don't know why, I just do. What I've got to do is actually make up a wire that comes from the top of the switch to this post right here, and it's got to fit in this air diverter right here in that slot. Okay, but I don't have that right here, so we're gonna move on. I did find my box rubber. I found my little rubber that goes through where my throttle cable does. The fuel line goes in the forward hole, which it is. Now we have this little bugger right here. As soon as I find the darn thing, there it is. That's what holds your carburetor on the back. It goes through that hole and that hole. I'll just put it in there and kind of grab a hold of it and pull it through. That's all you got to do. It just pops right in. Okay, so we're ready with that. And there's probably more that I'm forgetting. I can't bolt this tray in yet for under the carburetor until I get my wire. And I'll be darned if I know I didn't lose it. I'm pretty good about not losing things, only once every day, all day long. But it's not here. Okay, we have no vent, so we don't need the vent hose. These little pieces of rubber that this is your intake, obviously. This tube right here, it goes into your oil pump. You put the brass screen on it and you just drop it in. We'll get to that another day. But this is the piece of rubber that they sent me. You know, that little stub that I put that piece of hose on. This is real soft. I'm glad I put the hose on. I really am. It was the right move to make for this. We have all kinds of little neat, way cool things that we need to put on this. Just take your time, folks. You're putting these things together. Just take your time. This is all I'm going to do on this one for right this second. Because what I'm actually going to do is make up a ground wire. And I'll actually put the recoil on. And then we're going to go to the other side for the clutch, oil pump, clutch assembly, all that. Oh, look at that. I was looking for blue. Guess we can go a little further. Well, I'm going to put it on and I'll show you. We got a minute left. Okay, where we're at, I've got my ground wire on my switch is in, and I've got the ground wire that goes from the top of the switch. It runs through this channel in my air diverter. The spark plug wire has a spot that it has to run through also. Don't leave any slack down here when you plug this in. Let it be under your packet, your little tray here, under your carb tray, and I'll tell you why. This is an area things are spinning pretty fast. You don't want something getting tangled up in that if you can help it. Neat and Clean runs the show on this right here part of it. Don't get your coil wire too tight right here. Don't leave that just yeah, right here. Don't leave that just a little bit of room, not a lot. Okay, now see at this point, once I tighten my nut, I can actually put my starter cover on. And when you put that on, just give that a little tug as you're doing it. See that? We're spinning the crank right there, see? That's all you got to do. But we're not ready for that yet. Hope you enjoyed this video. More coming on this project. Goodbye.